Hi, this is Michael Uslan. You're listening to Batman on Film.
I'm vengeance.
I have given a name to my pain.
The Batman.
Always waiting for some Batman to save you.
It's simple. We kill the Bat of Gotham. I'm Batman.
Welcome to episode number 116 of the Social Hour, a Batman on Film podcast, batman-on-film.com. I am the founder of Batman on Film, Bill Ramey. And yes, if I sound strange or stranger than normal, I'll put it that way. Right, Ryan? Ryan Lauer, senior BOF contributor. If I sound stranger than I normal, I know I sound strange anyway, but I have like full-on allergy attack on my body right now. So,
well, you sound strange because Jim Morrison told us long ago people are strange. So
yes, that's correct.
It's all good. It's all I could hear as you said that.
I'm going to power through this.
I believe in Harvey Dent, and I believe in Bill Ramey.
I'm going to do it because Batman would do it. Batman would power through this.
There's a book by Lee Bermejo, friend of the show, called Batman Noel. And that night, Batman has a terrible sickness, and he fights through it, damn it.
Oh, it's the same
thing. So if
thing.
he can, we can, because Batman can be anyone.
It's the same thing. Same thing.
Exactly.
Me powering through this this podcast is same as Bruce Wayne, Batman powering through taking out some supervillains in Gotham City.
Yeah.
Same
pretty
level.
much.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So what we're going to do today. Oh, this podcast is part of the Batman Podcast Network. Just like the Batman Book Club is, Ryan.
Yes.
See what I did there?
Yeah, it's all connected.
Yeah, of course.
We should get those shirts made. Batman on Film. It's all connected.
All right. Let me write that down. Note. Okay, Justin Kowalski. Come on.
Yeah.
Got a new idea for a t-shirt.
Now it's all connected. I'd buy that shirt in a second because it is all connected.
It is.
We prove it time and time again.
Yeah, we've proved that hypothesis on every one of these social hours, I believe.
I think it's popped up every time we talk.
Batman Podcast Network. Check out all the shows. Just go to Batman on Film, and you will find the logo and/or the drop-down box in the menu, and check out those shows and give them a listen. All right. So, anything before we get to? I know you did something we're going to talk about. You did something this last weekend, very Batmanish. And we're going to talk about that. But anything else you've done lately? How's the weather been? Any of that, anything would make up some good witty banter. I'm just interested in.
Well, something that is really nice up here in Indiana is that we're probably in day 3. And there's at least another week. I think that we can settle in that this is the new norm right now, that we are in great spring weather, Bill.
Okay.
Highs in the 70s, sunny. That's great. Just a few years ago, actually, on this day, it was snowing. On Mother's Day, it was snowing in Indiana.
Really?
Yeah. And not this time, though. The birds are out.
Okay.
Chirping, the sunshine. I don't know. It's great weather. This is kind of a little unheard of to have consistency like this.
I think I told you last week when I was on your show. We recorded. It's not out yet, I don't believe, but we recorded it.
Coming soon.
Yeah, coming soon to wherever you find your podcast. Batman Book Club. Mr. Summer is starting to. He's not just knocking on the door; he's starting to pound on it. So we're getting into regular 90s, low 90s, but 90s nonetheless. The 50s have said goodbye in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're easing up, until, in the 60s and then close to 70. And so I know for long what it's going to be like here. But you know what?
Do you keep your house cool? Because it seems like the last couple of times we recorded too, you're in a hoodie.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I keep my house cool. And you know what? It's still, this morning it was cool enough. It was in the 60s. This isn't, I'm in a Texas Longhorn hoodie. I'm going to paint a picture for you like a baseball announcer. But it's still in the morning. It's still fine, throw on a hoodie.
Yeah.
I'm not going to, in July, probably not,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'll have that AC. I'll keep it cranked up. And
That's how I am.
yeah,
I want it cold in here.
My pocketbook knows that I keep the AC cranked up in the summer. But yeah, I will also mention I got a new dog. You knew that.
Yeah, I did. As anybody, if they're listening, if they're part of the BOF Facebook group, they will have seen this dog.
Yes. I lost my girl of 17 years, Dallas Ramey, back in March. It was time we had to send her over the Rainbow Bridge, and that was it sucks. If you're a dog lover or cat lover, animal lover, period. Yeah. It's they're family, but it was time to say goodbye. And it was hard. So we waited a couple of months or so, and I want to get a rescue, and I still have my plan. I'm gonna get a rescue shelter dog, and I was looking, and it was a bit of a process. I should have known that. I'm glad it is the vetting process. You got to apply, and you have to have references, and they call your vet, and they call your references, and they want to make sure they put these animals in a good home,
Mm-hmm.
dog or cat. And so I was going through that, and I found some that I liked, just based on their picture and their profile. But all of a sudden, my wife was looking, announcer Rachel, and stumbled upon this Labradoodle puppy that the person selling them, very reputable place, or having a flash sale basically on the rest of the litter, because the wife of the breeders, she was about to have a baby like any day now, basically. And they wanted to get, try to move the rest of the pups. So they had a flash sale, and we got her for a pretty good discount. And so she entered our life that way.
Nice.
And her name is, I want you to see what I did here, Graceland. Now, if you know me and my dogs, I usually have a theme.
There's no D. There's no D at the end.
No D. Gracelin. Okay. Now, usually I have it's something to do with Elvis or the Cowboys. I've had Star, I've had Dallas, I've had Memphis, I've had Presley, So Graceland. So GR, okay. Grace for, there's my Elvis connection on this one. This is not, but there's a Batman connection in here. All right. GRACE. Ace. I slipped in Ace.
Oh,
See what I did there? See what I did there?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then LIN at the end is for my mother.
Nice.
No longer with us. Graceland Ramey, the Labradoodle. Who's
Does
crazy as
announcer
hell.
Rachel just give you like, all right, you're up, and you come up with a name, or was this a discussion?
This was a little bit of a discussion. I think we had decided like the next dog a while back. I mean, before Dallas was even got to where she was, started going downhill. But just like, because I was like, I came up with I'm gonna name her Satnin, 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 which is, if you're an Elvis fan, that was his term of endearment, Satnin. And that was a no from the announcer.
I mean, I think you went. I like Graceland. not that my opinion totally matters. It'd be like, all right, Rachel. Well, Lauer likes Graceland, so I guess we're gonna go with Graceland. But
yeah, so we got
it rolls
Graceland.
off its own. Yeah.
Yes,
I said you
And
need
so-
to order a Gotham Rogues jersey for her.
yes,
She's in the BOF office.
yes. So I got in my Elvis connection. I got in a little Batman connection, which I've never had a Batman connected dog name. And the next one, I'm going to get the rescue dog. Once this one gets a little bit older, because she's crazy, as I said, is going to be Landry. That'll be the cowboy connection for
Landry.
Tom Landry.
See, Tom Landry, but I instantly think of Friday Night Lights. There's a character named Landry, but Friday Night Lights is in Texas and it's about football, so it's all connected. See, all connected.
Okay, so tell me about the Batman in concert, which I'm extremely jealous that you got to see.
Yeah, so my lady got me these tickets for Christmas. Apparently, when I told her about it and about it touring this year, when I told her about that last year, when it was announced, she had already seen it and had already ordered tickets. So we made a weekend of it going to Chicago, and it's a new series, which I think the last BOF podcast was talking to Steve Cook, who is the head of the TCG Entertainment, which put on, which is who's working with DC to do these DC on film concerts. And the Batman was the first one. So yeah, check out the last BOF podcast where we talked to him. It's just, a quick like 10 minutes or so. But made a weekend of it. It was in the auditorium in Chicago, which is about South Loop, which is still downtown Chicago, but starting to get towards southern downtown area. But it's also in the area of like two different schools, like universities. So did
you know that Chris Nolan shot The Dark Knight mostly in Chicago?
I might have seen that before, but it's not surprising.
And so now you have the Batman in concert in Chicago. It's all connected.
It's all connected. Parts of the Batman.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
We're shot in Chicago.
Yeah.
It's all connected.
Yeah.
That's how the Batman is connected to the Dark Knight. But yeah, I'd never been in that theater before. I'd mentioned on BOF that I lived in Chicago for 5 years. I still go there often for work and stuff, but I'd never been in this area. It's funny because it's like 2 blocks from areas that we've been to a lot. We've just never been to this one. And so the auditorium is an old theater, it's a big theater, really, really nice, really old, old school and everything. But and set up right up in the front. I mean, it has the Batman in concert logo on the screen with orchestra seats and stuff underneath it. And sure enough, they played. So they showed the Shazam Fury of the Gods trailer while people were just waiting, build up to 8. It wasn't like at 8 o'clock, let's play some some trailers. It was like they played that and then they played the Flash trailer, and it's kind of funny because I feel like the room got quiet when the Flash trailer came on.
Okay.
And I made sure to snap a picture of when Keaton popped up on the screen. But yeah, as soon as that trailer ended, then the conductor came out with, or no, Steve Cook came out, and he
Okay.
just did a quick like 30-second intro or something like that. Passed him in the hall, but I didn't never stopped to say, that, hey, I'm the one who spoke to you or anything like
Yeah,
that.
I
And then
was
I
going to
didn't see
ask,
him after the show.
did you get a chance to talk to him? So
I wanted to, but I didn't find him after the show, so I didn't get to. But I did mention that there was a BOFer that as soon as like we did the walked through the gates to make sure that and got like the safety protocol and all of that. Andrew, I didn't ask how to pronounce Meixner. Sorry, he just said someone said my name, and I was just a little thrown off because I didn't think anybody should know my name there, and came up and introduced himself. Said that first thing he said is that he listens to all the podcasts. And I said, well, which one? And the first one he said was Straight Outta Gotham. So there you go. Shout out Pete and Eric. He was Straight Outta Gotham. He said he listens to Social Hour. He listens to the chapter by chapter, and he listens to Batman book and all that stuff. So I got to stand and talk to him for a few minutes. Nice gentleman. Good BOFer. Yeah, nice talking to him. And then the movie itself,
you're freaking famous, man.
Apparently. Now I know what it's like to be you. Can't even go to the grocery store at normal times.
No.
During the day.
No, you got to find one of those 24-hour ones and go like at 3 a.m.
Yeah. The movie itself, though. So because I've listened to that score, probably an unhealthy amount of times, you can notice when there are little differences, and sometimes waiting for certain spots. Sometimes they were there, very few times like they weren't, but that doesn't mean that the orchestra wasn't good. They were really good. There were times where, and I asked my lady as well, both of us at times kind of forgot we were watching a live orchestra because it was just going so well with the movie, and the movie's pretty good. I don't know if you know that. And then there were other times when like you knew that there was going to be, there's unique sounds in the score itself. So you want to spot which member of the orchestra is doing that sound. So then it would be kind of like a look below the screen and trying to see who's like pulling, just because there's just one long string here. Who's doing that? And then who's hitting the drum? Who's hitting the unique things in the back?
Here, I have a question. So, the theater you went to, is it one for like for orchestras and plays and stuff like that, or musicals?
It seems that way. I think they can. Yes.
Yeah.
There's
so it wasn't a movie. It's not a place where they're gonna have. It's not a cinema.
No.
So the screen.
No, this is
was the film projected, or it was
I think it was projected.
Okay.
But it looked good.
Yeah.
It didn't look like faded or anything like that. It looked good.
I saw the pictures you sent. And check out Ryan's write-up about it, please. What was the screen size? Was it big enough?
Yeah, you kind of wondered if at first maybe it was going to be like I wonder if that's going to seem a little small, but
yeah.
I mean, it worked, but I think it's also just because what we're used to sitting in a movie theater, the screen seems big compared to the size of the room that we're in. Well, the room that we're in this is huge. There's two balconies that go way back and stuff, so that the screen probably seemed like smaller because of the room size, but it was a good size screen too.
Okay.
I didn't have any problems. There was no point in the movie where I was squinting. I'm like, man, I can't really see what's going on or anything like that. We could still see Mr. Freeze in the back getting his diamonds. It was fine. It was completely fine.
Yeah.
And then the orchestra, like, they wailed hard. Like the the Batmobile scene, like right,
Yeah.
bum 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 bum, and then it's almost like a bam 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 bam, like when it hits that
Yeah.
part. Oh, they wailed. They wailed that part. They nailed that. When he enters Gotham Square Garden there at the end, comes in through the after he sets off, comes through the glass at the top,
Yeah.
and it's the 1.5 minutes of Batman kicking ass. They wailed that. That was just like grah! Batman coming down the hall in Falcone's lair, taking out everybody. Nailed that. That was great. I mean, they did good throughout, but it's just like these are the ones of like, I know the score. This is a big moment. Let's hear it. And they did a great job. They really excelled at the strings, like the more quiet, very stringy moment. Like they did really good with that. That really, I don't know, that really hit every time. It was really done. And then I wrote up in the review too of the post. Crowd was really receptive too. So you've got a movie that has been out now for over a year. Like streaming over a year even.
Mm-hmm.
And the crowd, like there was the I'm Vengeance got, cheers, Batmobile got cheers. A lot of laughs with Pattinson's performance, especially with Gordon in the whole thumb drive garage part too. People laughed a lot with that. And I think that just kind of showed sometimes it's really refreshing of like, I wonder how other people are taking these moments because I just know what I feel about them by now, but I'm really curious how other people do. And so I'm in this big, auditorium with a bunch of other people, and there's a lot of good reactions at moments that, I'm kind of like putting my ear out, like, I wonder how they, receive this, how they react to this. And so good crowd, probably 3/4 full,
Yeah.
maybe a little less than that, because I mean, it's huge. There's a lot of seats in that auditorium. Probably somewhere between I don't know. There's a lot of people there.
How was the opening that you can't fight City Halloween? That whole,
So that how that I couldn't hear one part that really stands out to me with that of there's one element, and it might be even a string in that's kind of you start to hear it as the music really starts to build.
Mm-hmm.
It was good though, but I couldn't hear one part, which I think is kind of an identifier for that track that I like a lot in that one. So I mean, it's not me saying like, oh, I'm disappointed or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just I couldn't hear that part, but I mean that was good, and like I said, that got his entrance, and then like got good laughs. Oh, then Penguin, of course, like every single freaking line Penguin said, everybody laughed. I mean, kind of no surprise, but still.
So I know when you talked to Steve Cook, y'all talked about it being these DC on film
Mm-hmm.
or DC in concert, this series about having the audience and the orchestra live and the whole interaction being, interactive and communal. So you felt that, right?
Yeah, for sure. Like I totally agree with his comments of that movie scores now are classic music, the classic music of, this age. And it's a good way to keep orchestra shows alive, is having them score movies, and that's going to bring people in. I totally agree with that, because I mentioned with him and I've told you that last year I saw Jurassic Park. Like, well, Jurassic Park is such a beloved movie, so that's a good one to get people in. This one is, I'm not going to say it's riskier. It's just like, oh, we don't know I just don't know if we know yet that this movie is completely beloved, on that kind of level. It's only a year old. And then he said like they're gonna have 89 Batman, I think, next year for its 35th anniversary doing this. Talks of having the Flash, which is, that one's like kind of risky, I think, too. But I mean, I applaud the idea, and I applaud it, whoever's in, everyone who's involved to have this happen, because I think it's good for the communal experience, for fans of movies, and then what's coming up, it's something fun and kind of exciting, and I think it's good for like a DC's brand too.
I
It's
know
unique.
that of the original schedule, Chicago was the last U.S. date, but
Yeah.
Steve said on the podcast, on the BOF podcast, that there maybe another run at it. You know, another.
Stay tuned,
Yeah, stay tuned because
I said he needs one in Texas. Bill needs one in Texas. He said, well,
yeah,
stay tuned.
yeah. Because here's the thing. When I got the information, if you're listening, we were invited to interview Steve Cook, who Ryan explained he's the head honcho and partnering with Warner Brothers in DC to do these DC in concert things. And he came on the podcast, and Ryan interviewed him. And in his bio, he lives like 30 minutes from me. I basically live in Frisco area. He lives over in Allen.
A hop, skip, and a jump, as some would say.
It is stone's throw.
There you go, stone's throw.
Or batarangs throw. How about that?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Works better.
Of course. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, he lives in frickin' the DFW, and there's not one of these in Dallas. Come on, man.
Mm.
So he said, stay tuned. So I so want to see this. So I hope there is another leg of this, the Batman in Concert tour.
I hope so too. Just for the sense of like, I don't know, it's the Batman. So I hope people can go see it again in a theater in a fresh way. Cause like I told you, I've counted, this is my 11th viewing of the movie, 8th in a theater. And it was so much like kind of like a drive-in a lot. I think I don't want my first viewing of a movie to be like that. I want it to be in a movie theater.
Yeah.
But I'm very open to, after my first experience with that, of seeing a movie in different ways. And so a movie that I've seen a lot, this was a fun, fresh way to see it. And I hope a lot of other people get to too.
Well,
I recommend it.
I've said this, and this is not something I say. I don't take it lightly. If I say this, it's the Batman is my favorite Batman movie. It is. It just hits my Batman sensibilities almost to a T.
Mm-hmm.
I still think The Dark Knight is probably the best Batman movie. I'll put it this way, best film, right?
Mm-hmm.
Best film. But I really love the Batman, and I love the Dark Knight trilogy. So, I can multitask. I can multi love these Batman movies. There's
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times there's this people tend to the new shiny object comes out, so we're going to bash on what came before,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I don't do that. I still love Batman 89.
Mm-hmm.
That's a novel idea.
Love Batman 89, Returns, Forever, right?
I
Okay.
love
Anyways,
Batman 89 and I like Return. I like Batman Forever.
You just said it.
Yes.
You just said Return.
Uh,
Got him, Pete.
Edit this out. Okay.
Edit that out. Okay.
Yeah.
Freudian slip.
Yeah. All right. So any final words? Would you see it again if you had a chance? Would you do it again?
I think so. And I only say that because it was a journey. Going there, it was a pricey weekend because we went and we stayed and all that extra stuff, and the tickets, pending where you want to sit, prices range. It can get a little expensive, so that's the only reason that I say probably. But the thing itself, take money out of it, travel, anything like that, it's down the road for me. Playing, would I see it again? Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So before we move on, let's take just a moment here for these words from our sponsor. All right. So we are back. So what you got, Lauer?
We got something else
got?
for you here
Okay.
because it's you may know this. BOF turns 25 this year.
No way.
Yeah. What's the specific day?
June 2nd.
June 2nd. Okay, so it's creeping up. The birthday is creeping up. Turning 25 this year, and I think we should sprinkle this in throughout the year. Have different members of Team BOF do this to you, but 25 years, 25 questions.
All right.
Only mandate, it's got to relate to Batman because it's Batman on film. So these can be as rapid fire, or if you want to explain some, go for it. I'm not going to say, let's see, if I ask one of these, I may just say, explain. Because if I say, well, why did you choose that? Well, that counts as a question. So I've got 25 questions lined up here.
All
Bill just found out about this probably 20 minutes before we started recording. So Bill, he has no idea what questions are coming his way.
Yeah, because we do show prep via text, and it's like, got any
homework
ideas?
sake.
Yeah.
But sometimes, I mean, it's slow news right now, but you haven't done a social hour for 2 weeks or so. So it was like, any ideas? There's no news. And I said, well, I got this idea in my back pocket.
If you haven't noticed, Ryan and I have no problem really filling in time talking on a Batman podcast. Okay.
No, so, I don't know how long we're at right now. We're probably at over half an hour just now. And we talked about weather and a dog and then a theater. So
yeah,
no problem. We can talk. But I'm focused here.
Yeah.
Got these questions. All right. Okay. I'm not going to number the questions, but I'll let you know when we're getting close to the end.
Okay.
So Bill, bat gyro or bat copter?
Gyro.
Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, or The Dark Knight Rises premiere?
Dark Knight.
Explain.
That was that period, that 2007, 2008 was probably the pinnacle of Batman on film. In my experience with it, it was just everything about covering that film was awesome. I mean, everything. I mean, going to Chicago for the set visit and going to the premiere in New York and the after party. And, that's when, and also I had, had developed a really cool relationship with Emma Thomas. And then of course, Chris, I put Emma first because, I should put her first. We talked. I mean, frankly, I talked with her more than Chris, but yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, it was awesome. It was great. It was
on this end of it. I think you could feel that as well. Just as a reader going to the site and reading these updates and stuff.
Yeah.
It's the best of times. Who's your favorite Batman artist?
Lee Bermejo.
What's your favorite piece from Lee Bermejo?
Oh,
oh boy, here we go.
God, I got some Lee stuff.
I'll say you're looking around, you're scanning.
Man, that's a lot of like cover or just like God almighty. There is this, okay. I think it was for Detective Comics. This is recent. It's I think it was a variant of a Detective Comics. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. But it's like Lee's classic Batman. Lee's take on Batman. Then you got like a Dick Sprang looking Batman. You've got a Neil Adams inspired Batman. You've got a 1939 Bob Kane, well, kind of Bob Kane, Batman. And do you know what I'm talking about? That
Detective Comics 1050.
Is that what it was? Okay.
It's like his Batman on a Gargoyle.
Yeah. Yes.
And then a bunch of different, a
yeah.
few of the different ones behind it.
I really like that.
Mhm.
So I'll go
That's
with
a
that.
good one. Of course, it's like a historical Batman piece.
Yeah.
So
because I like history and I fancy myself a amateur Batman historian. So
yeah. Batmobile, 66 or 89?
66.
Batmobile, 66 or the Tumbler?
66.
Alfred or Ace? You
Ace.
got dogs on the mind right now. Yep, there you
Yeah,
go.
I love dogs. Yeah.
First Batman comic that you remember reading?
Batman 251, the Joker's 5-way revenge.
Boom. 70s Batman comics or 80s Batman comics?
70s.
The Dark Knight Returns or The Long Halloween?
Long Halloween.
That's the correct answer. Who's your favorite Batman writer?
Denny O'Neil.
What's your favorite book from Denny O'Neil? Batman book, more specific, I guess.
Yeah. I got to go with the Joker's 5-way revenge.
Good answer. What's one question that you've yet to ask Michael Uslan? To piggyback on something you asked me, I probably would. I don't think I know or have ever asked him what's the first Batman comic he remembers reading as a kid. There you go. I think he has to come back on the show now, and the people will want to know the answer to that question.
Yes.
How many single Batman issues do you have, roughly?
Gosh.
I do expect a ballpark, not specific.
Yeah, I know.
Sort of answer here, yeah.
500-ish.
Ooh, impressive.
I'm 57 years old.
Yeah, I have some follow-up questions with that, but I can't because that'll, it's more. That's
Yeah.
the next 25 years, 25 questions.
I'm being a little liberal there,
okay.
but
I'll allow it.
Yeah, I said ish.
Ish.
So,
yellow oval or no yellow oval?
no yellow oval.
Wayne Manor or Wayne Tower?
Wayne Tower.
Ooh. Why do people like Batman?
Because he is relatable. His story is very it gets to the core of, sympathy of the fact he loses his parents. We can relate to loss. The fact that he has no superpowers and he does all of this that he does without having them, and he is like the one superhero where we can kind of go, had a little bit of money and a really cool suit and a cool car, and I worked real hard and trained, maybe I could be Batman. Which is, realistically impossible, but you can say that about Batman. You can't say that, I could probably, if I put this spider into some, make him radioactive and let him bite me, I'll get spider powers. Can't happen.
In the words of Bruce Wayne, Batman can be anyone.
That's right. That was the whole,
His words.
point. That was the whole point.
His words. That's the
Remember?
whole point. Yeah. Yep. That's the point. Favorite interview you've ever done?
Nolan, Chris Nolan, Dark Knight. During that press junket.
Exclusive one-on-one.
It was exclusive 101, although I couldn't say it at the time.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I've told that story on the BOF Chronicles.
BOF Chronicles. Listen to it
Yeah.
again.
People were going to get, there would be some butt hurt.
I was gonna say some
if it was-
butthurtness.
If it was known that, this little old blogger with a Batman site from Texas got a one-on-one with Chris Nolan for the Dark Knight of all movies.
Dark Knight celebrating 15 years this year. Might be a good time to revisit that. BOFers, just saying.
Yeah, it'd be a good time for us to have a podcast on it at some point.
Hey,
maybe
all
in
right.
July, maybe
Okay.
around July, middle of July when it came out. Okay.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Who do you hope to interview one day?
Matt Reeves.
Some of these, I feel like I was like, if I have to put money on an answer, this is what I'd say. And Matt Reeves would have been
Matt
mine.
Reeves. We're kindred
I guess.
spirits. We're kindred bat
Mhm.
spirits. We're the same
There you go.
vintage. We came up. I can tell we came about our Batman fandom probably the same exact way. And then of course the Batman, like I said, my favorite Batman movie
Yeah.
because it hit my Batman notes. Yeah.
I feel like that would be extremely hard. You would never turn down the opportunity, but it would be extremely hard. Like when you talked to the twins and it was you have like 4 minutes and that's all you get with Reeves. Cause I feel like there is,
Yeah.
no, I need 45 or 4 hours.
Yeah. That's something like, I want to fly to LA and meet at a restaurant or bar and interview him for like 3 hours and just talk Batman. That would be, yeah.
Yep. I get that. What's the best BOF moment to you?
For me with BOF,
And I guess take that however
okay.
way you want.
I mean, the first thing that came to my mind, 2012, at the Dark Knight Rises press junket, watching the film, had to turn in my cell phone. Before we went to the theater and watched Rises, loved it. Came out, got my phone, turned it back on, powers up, and then there's a text from Emma Thomas saying, well, by now you've seen the film, and we really hope you enjoyed it, and that you think we did right by Batman. That was, yeah.
Then I think all of a sudden they had a plumbing problem or a flooding problem, not plumbing,
Yeah.
flooding problem from all the waterworks.
Yeah. I lost it. Yeah. Yeah.
It's been painless so far. You got 5 left, Bill.
Okay.
If you could add one piece to your BOF office, what would it be?
Man.
I was gonna say, I expected yep, I could see he's scanning. He's looking around.
No, I know what it is. I'm probably scanning and say, where would I put it? I would like to have one of the movie costumes full on a freaking mannequin,
I'm not asking. I'm just wondering to myself out loud which movie costume that would be. ...
Either Begins. Golly. I mean, I'd even take the 66 Adam West costume, but I'd narrow it down to 3. Can I do that?
You can narrow it down to 3, asking the judge. Yeah, that's allowed. You can narrow it down to 3.
66 Begins, the Batman.
It's crazy to me I think I love the Dark Knight suit maybe the most of all live action. But you and I have the tall statues of the Begins and Dark Knight Rises. And I think that statue, the Begins suit, looks better. So I kind of flip-flop. It'd be hard for me to have to choose one because of that, but I thought that Pattinson had said it. I think maybe when he was on Jimmy Kimmel for it or something, and he'd said that they'd went and gotten the West suit or something, and it was really old and crinkled and stuff like that. So
I know
you can have
that
him touch it up and put it in the
I know
case
that
in your office.
yeah, it's yeah, it'd be cool to have have one of those suits,
A full
man.
suit, a full suit in the office. The temptation would be there for me to try it on.
That's why I would want to have it.
Yeah, exactly. Now Rich is going to walk in at you anytime. If it's the West one too, it would be doing the Vatuzzi, which is only appropriate.
Yeah. She'd get up one morning and come in here, and I'd just be sitting at my desk in the suit working on Batman on film.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Favorite Batman score?
Man, you're killing me, Smalls.
Yeah. Good reference.
God, thing I love is that I love about Batman is the movies is that like each incarnation has its own unique and very, very good score.
Mm-hmm.
The Batman.
Okay.
I love it. I think Tim Burton, Danny Elfman is classic.
Yeah.
But I really love that Batman score, man.
Sounds pretty good in concert. Which McDonald's tie-in was better, Batman Returns or Batman Forever?
Forever. Those glasses.
They cannot break. Have them in my cupboard. We use them every single day. Not a lie. Still.
Yeah.
Who's an actor that you think could have nailed it as Batman or Bruce Wayne?
Ben Affleck.
Last question. What made you change the name from Jett D60's Batman 5-page to Batman on Film?
2000. I thought it needed a better name. That was Jett D60's Batman 5-page. That was very, very late 90-ish. These website, you'd have these little fan sites, little websites people have, whether it was like over some of the, there's like these places you could create websites, that's kind of like, because that's how I actually started. GeoCities, does that sound familiar? I mean, they were, Tripod and
yeah,
these sites, you could, and people would have, that was kind of the thing. And I just thought, I need a better name. So that went with Batman on Film. That says it all.
Look
right?
at that. Yep. You came out unscathed.
Yeah.
Put you through the ringer there a little bit in the middle, but that's it. 25 years, 25 questions. Boom.
Yes.
Bring that back around. Another slow news week.
Here's a public service announcement.
Right.
I am giving away another Batman on Film 25th anniversary t-shirt for the month of May. I'm going to do it the rest of the year. This May's giveaway is at hand. There's just go to Batman on Film. You can see the May giveaway web page. There's two trivia questions to answer. I answered them in this podcast. Straight up answered them. I'm not going to tell you. Okay. So you just gotta find the page on Batman on Film, see what the questions are, listen to the podcast, and you'll for sure know the answers.
You know, it's funny. I did not think about the giveaway with the questions, so I wasn't even trying to, give a hint.
Maybe I think I will say. I'll just say this: I answered them in this. So at some point in this podcast, both questions were answered. Period. Answered.
Right.
No, with no doubt in mind. So you'll know the answer to those two, because the entries I'm getting so far, a lot of them are missing. And I said it before. I've said that. I've said this. I've said that before. I mean, I've talked about both before on these podcasts, and probably and I mentioned it on in an article, written in an article. So, all right.
You know what? I want at least 2 more 25 question sessions this year. And I think it'd be very interesting for Pete to give you the questionnaire. And I would think it'd be really interesting for announcer Rachel to give you the questionnaire. I think they both could come up with some doozies of questions.
Yeah.
I'd like that. I'm just saying, just throwing those out there.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
All right. Jotting it down.
Good idea. Yeah.
It's all connected t-shirts.
So
announcer Rachel and Peter.
Yeah.
Mr. Boudin.
Boudin pockets.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think that's going to do it for the day.
Put a bow on it. Yeah.
All right.
Put a bad bow on it.
You know the drill. You can podcast. I
can podcast. I'd love to podcast.
Yes.
Let's keep going.
You can plug, which I'm sure during the plugs you will talk about your podcast, Batman Book Club. Let's
start there. Let's just start there. The Batman Book Club, my podcast, which Bill generously posts on Batman on Film because it's all connected. The most recent episode, you know what, Bill? You've built up a friendship with the great Lee Bermejo. I think I'm building one with Sean Murphy and friends, because on my podcast, Katana Collins and Clay McCormick, who have both written spin-off issues in the White Knight universe, their new series, Batman White Knight Presents Generation Joker, just kicked off, and I got to have both of them on my show to talk all about that series and ask them some questions. Sean even popped in really quick at one point. Didn't see that one coming.
Can I ask a question about that book?
Yeah,
because I've read your review,
mm-hmm.
and I started listening to the podcast. I haven't got all through it. I started because I put it anyway. I'm trying to think of my chronology here. Anyway, I don't know the answer to this for sure. Is this set after Beyond the White Knight?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Pretty much immediately after.
Okay.
So
I haven't read it yet either. So
okay. You have to let me know what you think, because I know the spin-off stories are not Batman centric, but he's involved still. It's an extension of this universe, giving some, character development for these 2 characters that we've seen just a little bit of in this world, as well as Jack Napier, and then there's even some surprises.
Okay.
Conversation. I really like talking to both of them. I don't know. They almost go to the same school of podcasting, because I think those 2 were great to talk to, and I've gotten to talk to Sean Murphy twice, and he was great. Got to meet Sean and Katana and C2E2, and both of them were really, really nice and easy to talk to. So it was a fun conversation. I was really glad I got to talk to him. And then, I ended up really liking the first issue. So you can read that review on BOF. You can listen to the podcast on BOF. And the next episode of the Batman Book Club, Bill Jett Ramey is coming on for a very unexpected pick.
Yeah.
And yet it's 1 issue, 13 pages, and yet we filled the whole hour.
Correct.
We did. I think it's like an hour and 1 minute.
Correct.
Or something like that. I think the recording was, and it made me laugh. Yeah, but keep your eyes open for that because that'll be coming up soon. What else do we got? Check the podcast feed. Ryan Haas and I did Super Mario Brothers for the satellite show back in April. That was a fun discussion.
Yeah.
As well, there's Batman animation episodes. The last one that dropped was with Garrett and Trey Jackson, where we talked Super Sons, Batman, Superman, Super Sons, and there you go. There it all is. Now I'm just rambling.
Okay, I'll just batman-on-film.com.
That should just be the plug, actually.
Yeah,
Batman-on-film.
I will mention if you want to contribute to become a patron of Batman on Film, go to patreon.com/BatmanOnFilm, patreon.com/BatmanOnFilm. Speaking of 25th anniversary, you can get a Batman on Film 25th anniversary t-shirt. If you don't want to, enter the contest, you may win one. But if you want to get one anyway, and a t-shirt, there's other merchandise, mugs, all kind of stuff. tpublic.com/BatmanOnFilm. And if you'd like to advertise on Batman on Film, advertisecast, advertisecast.com/BatmanOnFilm. Go there. That's all I got. That's it. That's all I got, Ryan.
There we go. Okay.
So with that, announcer Rachel will take us out, and we will catch you next time.
Thanks for listening to the BOF Social Hour, Jett's official vlog and podcast on Batman on Film. Follow Jett on Twitter @BatmanOnFilm. Follow the BOF newsfeed on Twitter @TheBatmanOnFilm. For Jett and everyone at BOF, I'm announcer Rachel. Authoritative, definitive, the original, Batman on Film, established in 1998.